Welcome to the CrossFit Max podcast.
What is going on, team? I'm excited for you guys to listen to this episode, but before we get into it, I just want to tell you guys that every Sunday at 8 a.m., CrossFit Max is going to have a run club, and we are going to do a social and gentle 5K run. This is a free event and open to the public. We're going to be gathering at CrossFit Max for 8 a.m., and we are leaving at 8:08 sharp, not a second later. So it gives you a few minutes to kind of, gather your things, say hello to people, maybe do a couple stretches. And again, guys, this is a gentle and social 5K run. It is not a race. It is not a sprint. You can run, walk it. It is for all levels, and it is meant to be a lot of fun. So we hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Make sure you give us a rating and a review on whatever software you're listening to, and let's get to it. Ready? Let's go. Welcome.
Do this.
To your favorite time of the week, everyone.
It's podcast time. You know what? I just had the intrusive thought that I wanted to go. And I was like, don't do it. And then I had to do it.
Well, you've done it now, and the people are sitting in their cars questioning why they turn this on.
And if Ken and Caroline are listening, they know.
If you're here, you got Brandon and Susie over here. And we got a fun and kind of different podcast that we're going to throw at you guys today.
We're bringing you in to the inner circle,
into the biz stuff. So normally we discuss things on training and lifestyle and nutrition
and Australia and babies, the CrossFit Open.
And today we're going to talk a little bit more about the behind the scenes of what we've been working on at CrossFit Max,
running a business,
what CrossFit HQ has been doing. Maybe you've heard rumblings about CrossFit over the last couple months. Maybe you haven't, and we'll fill you in on that. But all fun stuff, CrossFit Max and business stuff. Give you guys just a behind the scenes of what Susie and Brandon have to work with.
Yeah, because I feel like there's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes that go beyond maybe what people realize.
Yeah, and I'm excited to just fill you guys in, and it's going to be a little bit more of a casual chat between us.
AKA, we didn't prep any points for you this time.
Absolutely, but what we did prep is our banter topic. We have a two-part banter topic.
Yeah, we couldn't choose, so we're gonna do both.
Number one, Susie, how did 24.1 open workout go for you?
Really well, but also I'm so mad.
Why? Tell them why.
So I was missing 6 burpees from finishing.
Yep. Well, in case you guys didn't know, Susie was 25 weeks pregnant when she did that workout.
Correct.
And her belly is
popping,
growing. It's quite a little baby boy in there. He's
also violently attacking my bladder right now, but it's fine.
Our baby boy is growing quite quickly in that belly. And Susie's starting to really show that you're carrying a big old baby in there. What was the size?
Just say I'm fat. Just say it. I dare you.
No. Only in person, and people aren't listening. So, Susie, when...
He's the size of an eggplant.
Yeah, an eggplant.
That's my boy.
And so Susie, when she had to do the workout, she had to do very, very slow and gentle burpees. Although I wouldn't say you were that slow. You're pretty quick. But the burpee part of controlling her, because we're doing this, the burpee standard is your chest and thighs have to touch the ground.
Correct.
And Susie's chest and thighs were touching the ground, but she just had a big bump.
Yeah, I just didn't want to smack myself onto my belly. So... Yeah. The slow control of making sure my chest touches but my belly doesn't get smushed to smithereens made my triceps get cooked.
Yeah, so you're pretty much doing a drop
like a
down
knee push-up
into a plank and then a knee push-up where your chest gently touches. And we know from the doctors, the placenta is on the back, right? So the baby's really on the front end of your belly.
Yeah.
So let's just say your thighs and chest were touching the ground, but I think our little baby McDowell's chest and thighs were touching the ground quite a bit too.
I actually think their thighs were touching before mine.
Yeah.
That was the problem.
Yeah.
But it went really well considering how pregnant I am and that it is like a challenging workout. I was able to do the 35-pound dumbbell. That was fine. The burpees were fine. I was just slower than normal. And like, I don't have the same gas pedal right now that I maybe I'm used to, because I'm more of a cardio athlete normally.
Yeah, this workout was in Susie's wheelhouse.
Yeah, I feel like I definitely would have finished the workout had I not been pregnant.
Oh my God, yeah, without a doubt. I mean, you almost finished it while you're 25 weeks pregnant.
Yeah.
That was the first time I saw you really like push it hard though.
Yeah, I felt it though.
Yeah. You did great.
I did feel it. But it was really, really fun. And I was just so grateful that at least the first workout was a workout I was able to RX and participate like fully in, even if it looked slightly different. I mean, shout out to Malice. She's 33. Yeah. She was 33 weeks pregnant, nearly 34 weeks when she did it. And she did finish the workout with 30 seconds to spare. So
Beast. This also would have been a very good Malice workout had she not been pregnant. Demolished that workout.
Yeah. But anyway, so pregnant girls unite. We got 3 pregnant chicks in our gym participating in the open, and that's so freaking awesome.
Epic. Yeah. And we just had Miriam do the 9 a.m. class with us. And
she did her first wall walk.
She did her first wall walk. How many weeks is she? She's a couple weeks after you?
Yeah, she must be like 29 weeks, I think. Yeah, 28.
Something
29?
around there. And she did her first wall walk, which is great. So shout out the pregnant ladies. But yeah, 24.1 was in the books.
Yeah, tell me about your experience.
Did it in 11:08.
Damn, son.
And I'm pretty satisfied. I've worked really, really hard on my burpee the last year.
You were flying.
My weakest movement in the opens in the past, and I feel like I trained a lot harder this year in it. Every time there was burpees in the workout, I really focused on pushing hard.
I've noticed that.
And I think that although I didn't have a great score, I think that my score has a huge improvement from the burpee workout that we did last year.
Right.
So yeah, I'm pretty happy about it. And we had a few athletes who redid it and did better, and they're like, "Oh, like you don't want to redo it?" And I told them like, "No, my open this year is really to just build the culture here that the open is meant to be really fun, to encourage everyone." And the Friday night lights was so epic, and that was the open experience for me. I don't care how I do in the open. If every Friday night could keep growing the same way it did last week, that is the
it definitely gives me the warm and fuzzies.
That is the perfect situation for me. That is my why for not just doing the open, but also for the reason why we open this gym and we do CrossFit every single day. So
the energy was insane, and like a big group of us went out to eat together after. I was able to like bond with one of our new members, Amai, and his lovely wife, and so
I got to meet his wife. Yeah, should be hopefully starting CrossFit soon too.
Yeah, I think we gave her planted the seed.
Yeah, it's so hard. You come and see that event, and how do you not want to be part of that?
Yeah, everyone is like hugging and high-fiving and cheering for each other. And one of my favorite moments of the whole Friday last week was when everyone like rallied around Maria at the end, Coach Maria.
Yeah.
So
yeah, shout out to Coach Maria for killing it also. Yeah, wow.
Double shout out Coach Maria, because she did her level 1 last weekend too.
Yeah,
boss
for sure.
Bitch.
Yeah. So many good things. But anyways, that Friday night was incredible. I'm excited for 24.2.
Can't wait to see what it is.
Yeah.
Hoping it's not too much gymnastics, but that's just selfish.
Yeah. I have a feeling it's going to be a gymnastic-y workout.
I think so.
I would love to see a lot of double unders. I would love to see some maybe heavy power cleans.
Same.
And I would love to see some bar muscle ups. Oh, I would be happy with that.
I would love to see wall walks.
Okay.
I would love to see wall balls. Rowing.
Oh, just name every exercise that you can do.
And cleans. Basically, those are movements that I know that I can do and I can still do well.
Yep. Yeah. Awesome.
Like I could be competitive in those movements even at now going to be 26 weeks pregnant.
We'll see in about 48 hours from now what it is.
Anyway, stay tuned, everybody.
Yep. So that was the first banter topic. The
Check.
second banter topic, because this this episode is about the business side of things, I wanted to share one of the experiences that I had with not just a client at the gym, but also a outside member. Sorry, not an outside member, an outside person who has never done CrossFit before. We hired Jason's company, Jason Bucci, a member at CrossFit Max, his cleaning company, to start cleaning our gym. And he had an employee come in to clean that evening with him. And that employee is going to be the guy who cleans our facility every Monday. And it was interesting because they came towards the end of the last class of the day.
Yeah.
So we had our 6 p.m. class going. They came in at like 6:55.
Love the punctuality.
And he was witnessing, it was a full class. I think it was like 12 people doing the class. Mm-hmm. And he got to witness all these people. Anyway, so the class finishes. I go over, introduce myself to I say hi to Jay and introduce myself to the new cleaner. And this guy, just to give you guys a visual, he's about 55 years old. I can't remember his exact age, but about 55 years old. And he's like, "Oh, wow, can anyone do this? Like, if I want to do this, could anyone do it?" And I said, "Absolutely. Anyone can do this. Anyone who wants to come into the gym and wants to make a healthy lifestyle change, anyone can do this." And it's funny because Jason was standing right next to me, and Jason's been at our gym now for over a year. Mm-hmm. And the man, Andre, said, "Okay, well, I think he said he's 57. I'm 57. I'm worried about my heart. I want my heart to be healthy. So, I can't be pushing too hard in the gym." And it was an interesting moment.
Process.
Yeah, it was an interesting moment because I had to explain to him that absolutely you should be 100% concerned about your heart. Obviously, the older you get, the more you want to be concerned about it. But at any age, you should be concerned about your heart health. And in fact, exercise is the one thing that improves your heart health. And he was kind of, you could just kind of see him being so flustered by that answer. And he was like, "Oh, really? I didn't know that. Like, I thought, like, I can't get my heart rate too high. Like, I thought that was bad for my heart." And I had to explain to him, obviously, when we first start, we're not going to push our maximum, our maximum limits here, our maximum intensity, and we'll build up the intensity very slowly. And we have a special on-ramp program that helps do that, to teach you the movements, to start to build up on the weight and everything. And it was interesting because Jay was there and he got to experience that talk. And that talk is something that Susie and I have often with clients.
All the time.
Not clients, but with prospects and leads trying to get into CrossFit, and people reaching out to us and them coming for their free trials, or people walking out from the street and seeing the CrossFit Max sign and just wondering, like, okay, what is this place? I'm going to go walk in and see what's up. And Susie gets to have this talk all the time with people.
I think it's impressively, well, no, not impressively, but it's wild to me how many people think that in order to maintain their health, they should avoid taking care of their health.
Well, people don't understand what taking care of their health is.
They have such a fear of working out because they think they're going to either like hurt their back or their knees, or they're, in this case, their heart's going to beat too fast and they're going to have like a heart attack or something. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it's like, if you're just sitting on your ass all day and you're not using your joints and your muscles and you're not working that heart muscle in your body, then you're just going to like literally get weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker and wither away. Especially
as you age. Yeah. And, he has all the right concerns. You should be worried about your heart.
Exactly. Like, people are all concerned. Nobody is sitting around in their mind being like, "Oh yeah, I can't wait to wither away until I die." Mm-hmm. Like, nobody thinks that way. Yep. It's just the lack of understanding that actually exercising and using your joints and using your back and growing muscles and working that heart muscle is what's going to actually make you healthier. Mm-hmm. And it's not going to hurt you or harm you in any way.
Yeah.
It can only bring you good things.
I was happy that Jay got to experience that. And I think that it was a good moment for one of our members and one of our clients to experience that, because it's just the reality of society in 2024 is that the average person doesn't know what health is. They don't know how to become healthy because they have a fear around lifting weights, or they have a fear around running. They have a fear about getting their heart rate up. They have a fear about exercise. They just don't know. And they also have an extreme fear of eating different ways because there's so many things online that say, hey, don't eat carbohydrates. Okay, don't eat fat. Okay, don't eat meat. Okay, don't eat vegetables.
Only buy low-fat yogurt.
Don't eat breakfast. There's all these things that are like, don't do this, don't do that. It's like, we just need to inform people on what living a healthy lifestyle is. That's what we're doing at CrossFit Max. But the reality for the average person, they don't have the knowledge. They don't understand what that is.
I think that there is just such a mass lack of understanding and overcomplication of health, and it's kind of sad because we live in this we live in our CrossFit Max bubble where the people we interact with primarily within our community all understand these basics, and we all have similar minds. And so sometimes you get into this sort of false sense of everybody's prioritizing their health and everybody knows to eat vegetables and blah 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 and all these things, but then you realize that you're just part of this, let's say 10% of the population who are focused on that, but it's just those are the people you're interacting with all day, every day. And so then when you do come face to face with somebody who completely has a different understanding, you're kind of like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Do people really think like this? And then you come to realize that actually the majority of people still think like that. Yeah. And the majority of people have so much fear around exercising. It's so interesting. And I think there's also a fear of not even just exercising, but people are afraid of being uncomfortable.
Oh, for sure.
This is going to sound really cutthroat, but people are soft.
Yeah.
They're kind of not, okay, I'm going to say it, a little bit pathetic, And so they're a little bit afraid of getting uncomfortable. But I'm your life will be so much more comfortable if you get used to pushing your comfort zone in a few hours a week in the gym,
Yeah. I shared this thing last weekend on Instagram, my Instagram story, and it was a repost from a really popular influencer. He was talking about injuries, and one of his points was that he was talking about mentally, a big part of getting injured is people thinking that they're fragile. If you understand the human body, we are very resilient. It's only been the last 150 years that we've had cars.
Correct.
And cities been having electricity. Before that, for tens of and hundreds of thousands of years, we used to have to go out and hunt. We used to have to go and farm. We used to have to go and gather things. We used to have to build our homes. We used to have to walk everywhere and carry things.
Right.
Our body is very resilient. Our body is very strong. But it's only really the last century and a half that we have couches and these extra soft, comfortable beds where we just sink into and we could stay there comfortably for 10 hours. We have these houses that are heated through electricity and have lights where we can stay up at all hours of the day or play, games or use the internet and go on our phones. This is only the last century that humans have to move far less than they ever have before.
Correct.
Our bodies were meant to move around. Our bodies were meant to lift. Our bodies were meant to carry things.
Yeah, I think we've just learned to have this fragile, soft approach to life, and that the uncomfortable feeling of your heart rate going up is like painful and dangerous.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
And actually it's really nice and addictive eventually if you learn to like it.
I'm not one of those people that's anti soft beds and couches and internet and everything. I love this. I love the modern era. I love the year that I'm living in right now.
We are not like the camping type of people, me and Brandon.
Absolutely not. But this mindset that our bodies are so fragile and we can't get our heart rate up because our heart might explode out of our body and kill us.
Yeah.
And we can't lift weights because we think our back is going to break, or there's no way I could put a dumbbell over my head because I have shoulder issues.
You're doing your body so much more damage just sitting on your ass.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's mind-blowing to me. Like, I feel like the idea of working out, and because we own a gym, you know, people meet us with all of their excuses every time we encounter anyone, and they're like, ask you what you do for a living.
I have a job. Okay, well, what do you do for your job?
Literally. Anybody who listens to the podcast knows someone literally looked me dead in the face and was like, oh, I have a job. And I was like, oh, yeah, all of our CrossFit members, they don't have jobs.
Yeah. We have people who have physical jobs who, I mean, look at Jay. Jay does cleaning most of the day, and, you know, he's running his business and he's killing it, but he still gets his training in 5 days a week. You know, people who are like, I have a job.
3 kids at home.
Yeah, and he's got 3 kids at home. The reality is that there is a balance factor, but all that to be said, our bodies are not fragile. Our bodies are meant to move. Our bodies are meant to lift. Are meant to carry. I think it just
empowers us with more in our mission when we hear people say that, of like the vast amount of education that still needs to happen, and that every new person we encounter who we get to change their mind is just like another step in the right direction.
Yeah. And
he came early yesterday, Andre, the guy you're talking about, our new cleaner, who's done a fantastic job, by the way, guys. A massive shout out to Jason's cleaning company. They're phenomenal. He came early yesterday and he was like, oh, I came a little bit early because I was hoping to watch the end of the class. Like, is that okay? And I was like, cool. Yeah, for sure. Like, come on in. You know, I love that you're curious. I love that you want to learn. And I love that we've kind of already, with just 2 small encounters, scratched this, oh, maybe I can do this.
Yeah. Yeah, and this transitions really well into our podcast topic today, because that is probably the biggest thing that we do in our business right now. That's probably the number one thing, is to just, obviously marketing is a big part in terms of like posting, but then we spend a lot of time explaining everything we did for the last 10 minutes to people, probably at least once a day, sometimes multiple times a day.
Yeah. And sometimes we do that. The same person a few times before it sticks.
Exactly. So that is like a big part, and I thought it was just interesting, and I want to share that experience with you, and I'm happy Jay got to see that. And maybe for you guys listening, a lot of you guys are CrossFit Max members. A lot of you guys are fitness go-getters from other places in the world, and maybe some of you have family or friends that think like this as well. So I encourage you guys to keep having that conversation with people. Try to rewire their brain that lifting weights, moving their body.
I guarantee any of our members who are listening right now have heard the sentence, oh, I could never do that.
Oh, yeah. I'm not.
You do CrossFit. I could never do that.
Yeah, I'm not fit enough. Or
challenge those people.
Yeah, keep challenging them, keep pushing them. And maybe that'll have us do one less conversation per year.
And maybe that'll generate some leads for us, and you could bring us some more business, because we're in a growth phase right now.
Yeah. So let's tell them a little bit.
Talk about the business.
Let's talk our personal. Let's talk about CrossFit HQ after. We came back from Australia. We took a nice 3-week vacation, and we came back and we got to experience a couple different changes that happened pretty quickly after.
There was a little bit of like a feeling of coming back and then instantly needing to put out fires.
Yeah.
As business owners.
Our coaching staff did a great job.
Phenomenal. Love our coaches.
Our coaches were great. We got to hear some really awesome feedback from our members, which we for the coaches listening, we did reach out to our members to probe them, to give us some information to see if there was anything needed working on.
And none of them had dirt to dish, so you're all good.
Yeah. And so when we came back, there was issues with our previous cleaning company.
Yes.
So we had to pivot a little bit, and we
feel really good about that pivot, though.
Yeah. And we now, as we said, we're working with Jay's company, which I'm super excited for working with him. And then the other thing is we had just like one employee on staff that we won't get into too much detail, but we had to kind of make difficult decisions throughout that process. And unfortunately, that added a lot of chaos.
A lot of chaos and a lot of stress. But you know what? It only makes us stronger. Yeah. And it is what it is.
Yeah. So when we came back, we had two incidences happen with our members.
Medical episodes.
Yeah. Literally, as we were getting on the plane to come back here, one of our members slipped off the pull-up bar and had fell and hit their head and got a mild concussion from that, which that is no joke.
Yeah, and that's really scary, and
especially for like a lot of our members.
Their members were here.
Yeah, a lot of our members were here and witnessed it, and for us to read that message, because we care so much about each and every member here, that was a really hard pill to swallow. Like, we were really concerned, and there was absolutely nothing we can do because
we were on the other side of the world.
I kid you not, we were in line to get onto an airplane for 15 hours to fly here, where we had no service, no nothing.
My stomach just did a flip remembering what that feeling felt like.
In the end, all of our members rallied around. Our coaches did a good job. Our member was totally fine. She has been having an epic comeback. She's
already back in the gym. Yeah,
fully back. She did the open on Friday and she did awesome. So that was kind of a scary moment.
And have no fear.
Yeah.
Of the pull-up bar. This was a freak accident.
Exactly, yeah.
This is not a common occurrence.
Yeah.
This is it was a freak accident, and we're so glad that she's okay.
Yep.
And we did take all the necessary precautions to make sure that the pull-up bars are not slippery.
Absolutely.
But
got to make sure you hold on to that bar, and when you feel like you're slipping, you got to let go. But the situation that happened, it happened, and she's okay now.
Happen.
Yeah, she's okay now.
She's okay. We're growing. Yeah. She's already back on the pull-up bar, so the fear
factor is gone,
starting to go away. I know that it's still there a little bit, but she's crushing it. So good for you, babe.
Yeah. And then we had like the week of.
Luckily, I was here for this one.
Yeah, we had one of our members who deals with what's her medical?
She has like a cardiac issue.
Gotcha.
That leads to some like fainting-like episodes.
Gotcha. So
she just had an episode at the gym.
She just walked into the gym, and before she sat at the desk, talked to Susie, and before anything, she went to go just change. She went to go take her jacket off, I think.
Yeah,
and had
collapsed.
Like a full collapse episode, which was really scary for every person in the gym, every person, including herself. Mm-hmm. And it was, in the end, she was totally fine.
She literally walked out of here after like she came to and everything, and she was totally fine. But it was intense.
It was super intense, yeah. So those two things all happened within a week. And it was a little bit of what is going on. Like, we came back from.
It honestly felt like Brian and I would go home and I'm like, are we cursed? Like, are we being punished? Yeah. Like, what is happening? Because it was just like the cleaning company, the ex-employee, the medical episodes. We had a couple of people like switch jobs or move, so they were canceling their memberships. Mm-hmm. And it was kind of like this twilight zone of 2 weeks where it was like extremely stressful.
Yeah. We came back and we were very excited to be back. We had like this fun energy around coming back and getting back to coaching. And we obviously missed the gym. We missed all of our members. And then I feel like every single day we got back, it was like
just like bad news.
boom, boom, boom. This person is canceling their membership. This person is canceling their membership. Like this person just got really hurt. Okay, there was this huge.
Someone just collapsed in the gym.
Someone just collapsed, and it was quite an intense. I would say, I think it was a week and a bit, like 10 days of us being back. And then it was almost like what the hell?
Was in a spiral. Like mentally, I was, I can't cope with this right now. It's too much. Yeah. And then every time I was like, okay, it's starting to feel good. Yeah. Something else would happen. Another shoe would drop. And I would just be like, what is going on?
Yeah. So we had a solid 10 to 14 days of just putting out fires.
It was literally putting out fires. Yeah. There was like no time to do anything that we had originally wanted to do or planned to do, because it was literally just managing disasters.
Yeah. And when we were on vacation, we did work. Not a lot. Obviously, we weren't coaching classes, but there was the admin stuff. I was still posting on social media and those things.
Communicating with our staff, like as necessary, booking trials. Like I was still on the emails every morning.
Yep. And so, there was just a bunch of things that were happening all at once. And you add on the extreme jet lag that we were going through. 16-hour time difference is no joke.
Pregnancy hormones.
Susie's pregnant. We also were staying at Susie's parents' house now because they're still in Australia, so we're watching over their dog as well and their house.
We're babysitting their car and their dog in their house.
And their house, yeah. So when we got back, we had to deal with all these things, and then we had to move into their house, the jet lag. Anyways, it was 10 to 14 days, and I think I kind of told you that we just need to switch things up immediately. Like we just need to switch up our mindset, and we need to start looking for all the good stuff. Like no matter how many things are building on top of each other right now, what we need to do is we need to just keep pushing for positive change. And I think we did that. We literally told ourselves, whatever has happened the last 2 weeks, like we need to get out of this funk right now.
We got to break the curse.
And what we need to do is we just need to make actions right now, and we just need to like really live up to the hype for all the small positive things that change. And we did that.
Yeah, I feel like we're trending up right now.
Trending up. We ended up, we put up an ad for a new staff member, a new massage therapist.
Yes.
And
this is exciting.
We're really excited. He's going to be starting on March 11th at our gym.
His name is Alex.
Alex from MyoBalance.
MyoBalance, yeah.
MyoBalance, I think that's his company name. He's going to be working part-time here and then part-time at his other location. But he seems like the real deal. Like his whole system, his whole process of booking clients, payment, everything is very seamless, and I love that. He's also been doing this full time for like over 7 years.
Yeah, his career is in sports massage. It's not like a relaxation massage, whatever. It's like treating an ache and pain type of massage.
Yep.
He's extremely organized, and it seems really cool. Like we have a QR code that people can scan at the front desk, and you literally get brought to a website. You book on the website directly. There's no like back and forth trying to find a time. None of that. Just book your appointment. And we've had some really awesome testimonials of people that we know who have referred Alex to us. We're excited to try him out ourselves.
Yep.
But I just think that this is like exactly the type of person we need to serve our beautiful sore members.
Yeah, exactly. So we're super stoked about him. Yeah. The other big thing that we've really focused on is, I think, so people think that we are a gym. We're a gym. More specifically, we're a CrossFit gym or CrossFit facility. And a lot of people think that CrossFit is about the workout. But from the business standpoint, we are not just in the workout space.
Right.
We are in the space of building relationships, which is huge for us to understand that, because that puts the client at the core of our business, and that puts the client experience as the top priority. And I think truly that's where a lot of maybe gyms, or more specifically CrossFit gyms, lack that, because
they forget that they're supposed to be hospitable.
A lot of gyms and a lot of CrossFit gyms think it's about the workout and it's about the programming and it's about the coaching, and all of those things are important.
Very.
But if the experience of the client walking into your facility isn't
amazing,
great, then it doesn't matter how well your coach can coach. It doesn't matter what the workout is. That client will feel off when they are walking through your door.
Yeah.
So something that we've been working on specifically is that experience from not just the second they walk in here, but we've been working on with our new leads. We've built out like an entire process now where when someone goes through our also brand new website that we've updated.
So if you're a brand new person and you're not currently a member at CrossFit Max and you Google CrossFit Max, let's say, or you CrossFit in my area, CrossFit Max pops up because we have tons of 5-star reviews. Whoop, whoop. You click on our website, you get to our website, and if you want to contact us or start now, or if you want to check out the pricing, the website is going to ask you for some information. And we're going to create, then from the business side of things, on our Wodify system, that creates us a lead. A lead is a person who's entered their information. So I have their name, their phone number, and their email address. They have the option to write some comments. So some people ask some questions there. Some people don't, leave it blank. They can also tell us like how they found out about us. So if they got referred by a friend or whatever. So we get a little bit of information on the person. And then we reach out to those people. And so what we're trying to do...
And we reach out pretty quick.
Very quickly. I am on that. But what we're trying to do is optimize this whole process to be the most warm and welcoming and great experience possible, because common complaints that we've had in the past at previous gyms that we've attended or worked at, or other members who've attended or worked at.
Just FYI, guys, I've worked in 3 other CrossFit gyms prior to this, and I was a member at another one before even opening CrossFit Max. So I've been around to many CrossFit gyms before.
I mean, I was in the yoga space at like 3 or 4 studios, so a couple of gyms here and there.
We've had good experiences at
we've
different
touched on lots of different
locations.
styles.
Yeah.
And a common complaint is like, oh, I reached out by email or no one got back to me. Or I like walked in the door and no one said hi to me.
Yep.
So big priorities for Brandon and I is when someone reaches out to us, like we get back to them really fast.
Yep.
Even if you're emailing me at like 8 p.m. at night, there's a pretty decent chance I'm going to answer you at like 8:15. Okay?
Yep.
Worst case, first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
But what we've started to do is we started to like update that process. So when they generate a lead, then we reach out to them, invite them to come to the gym, and then tell them what you created from there. Yeah,
well, we created like an intro page for them. So that page is like a link we send them like the day before they book their free trial with their coach. So they do a semi-sweat intro. Semi-sweat meaning they do half talking, half touring of the facility, and then half workout.
Right.
So what we did is, walking into a gym for many people is super intimidating, super scary. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to show them a nice welcoming video. So we just created
what to expect.
Yeah, what to expect. Just a talking head video of saying, hey, this is amazing. We know that walking into a gym can be scary. We talk to them about what the semi-sweat is, what they need to bring. We show them the facility in the video.
Yeah.
It's like a quick 2-minute video, but it's just a nice welcome feel. And it just helps relieve a little bit of the unknown. Because the unknown is what's scary for people. They don't know what the gym really is. A lot of our leads have never walked in, so they're sending things by email. They've only seen photos either through Instagram, Facebook, or on our website, so they're not really super comfortable with it. And then they also just might not even know what they're getting themselves into. Are they going to do like a really hard workout? They've maybe heard of CrossFit, and the outside messaging is intensity, intensity, intensity. But really, it's a talk and a mini workout, and it's a very gentle workout to get you ready for your session.
Our priority with creating this video was to solve the problem of like people choking at the last minute on their semi-sweat. Yeah. People do that all the time, right? Because they sign up for their free trial when they're feeling brave. and then they get in their head, or they talk to their friend who gets in their head, or they say something, and then they're like, oh my God, I'm not sure if this is for me. Like, sorry, I can't make it. Or even worse, just don't show up.
Exactly, yeah.
And so this was something that was starting to happen, and we're like, okay, like, what is going on? Because they haven't actually met us yet.
Yeah.
And so we're pretty confident that if we can get them to come, and we can show them who we are, that they're going to love it.
Yep.
So the goal of the video is really to start showing them who we are before they even walk in the door. And we haven't had a no-show since.
And just show
it's only
people
been 2
that,
weeks, but
that CrossFit isn't this super intense thing where you're going to be dropping barbells from overhead and swinging around the pull-up bar. It's a very fun and gentle session that will slowly teach you the movements after that, and then eventually you'll get into the group classes.
Right.
But so that's one thing that we've tried to improve on is the client's experience prior to even walking into the gym.
Yeah.
Now, the things that we've been doing inside the gym is we've been kind of refining our on-ramp program, which I'm excited about. I won't go into too many details for the listeners because that process might be boring, but essentially it was kind of people just doing one-on-one sessions where they learn all the movements, and they would do about 5 foundation sessions. Now what we've tried to do is we're trying to accelerate that process because we want this to be a lifestyle change for people. So before, people would be like, oh yeah, I'll do 1 session this week, and then maybe next Tuesday I can come, and okay, how about next Friday? And they were just prolonging it. And if you really want to make this a lifestyle change, you have to commit to the process, and you really have to make this a routine, because consistency is key when it comes to making lifestyle changes.
And you're also not going to see massive improvements in your health if you're only working out 1 hour per week.
Exactly. Yeah. And also there's a big learning process. How are you supposed to remember how to properly hinge from your waist versus how to squat and versus how to like hang from a pull-up bar properly if you did that 3 weeks prior? If you learned how to do a deadlift and then 4 weeks later you touch base on it again, well, you're not going to really get that knowledge and that understanding. So we've kind of created a 2-week accelerated foundation course, which I'm super excited. We launched that this week, and we're already one person's on it.
We're 1 for 1 right now.
1 for 1, which we're super pumped about it. And we know that the other option will be better for some people, but we know that if you really want to make a lifestyle change, we needed to improve on the on-ramp experience for our athletes coming in here to really make that lifestyle change.
Yeah, because the foundations are essential to success of the athlete.
Yep.
But the priority is to get them in the group classes as soon as we can, because that's where the magic happens.
Yep. So
where you make friends. That's where you build connections.
Yeah. So we've been refining that process. And the other thing that I'll talk about is we're also something that I'm working on personally is the coaching development. So we talked about Maria getting her level 1 last weekend, which I was so excited for. Our other coach, Amanda, went to go do her level 2, I think.
The start of this year.
The start of this year was in January, right? Yeah, it was about a month ago, or maybe 2 months ago now. So I'm super pumped about that. And now what I'm going to be doing with them is I'm going to be spending a little bit more one-on-one time during class times, walking around with them, giving them little cues and pointers on how they could be coaching athletes, and just kind of dissecting the clients as they're moving, going up to Maria and saying, hey, Maria, like, what do you see for this person?
Great.
And Maria's like, oh, I think they're kind of like, their feet are a little bit wider. Okay, let's go cue them. You go cue them, and then I'll sit back and watch them cue that athlete to, hey, Emma, bring your feet a little bit closer, and seeing that and seeing the results and watching the coaches really get that feedback from their work. It's really cool as a coach for you to cue someone, for them to fix it, and for them to get the proper results. And you're thinking to yourself, wow, I did that.
It's extremely rewarding.
So what I want to do is I'm trying to improve on the coaching development side of things, which I'm really excited for.
So if you notice Brandon wandering around your group classes, now you know why.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, well, we're kind of like
coaching.
Exactly, we're coaching the classes together here, and it gives them the opportunity to see how I deliver the messaging to the clients, how I'm talking about the stimulus of the workouts, because there is a big difference. I talk about this often, but there's a big difference between the fitness instructor, the guy that just says, this is what we're doing, 3, 2, 1, go, versus the CrossFit coach, where the CrossFit coach talks about all those things, but also gives intent and stimulus for what you're supposed to be doing. Mm-hmm. Are you supposed to be going light? Are you supposed to be going heavy? Are you going a moderate pace? Are you going a sustainable pace? Are you going an all-out pace? And all of those things are really important for the coach to communicate to the clients. So that being said, we're working a lot on the coaching development and also the client experience for walking in here.
Yeah, I think that maybe the 2 weeks of anxiety and like putting out fires and feeling like we were kind of in this like twilight zone allowed us to be like, okay, look, what are the things that we need to do to focus on to bring us out of this funk? And really, you can't get bogged down on anybody anytime somebody has a cancellation on their membership or something. Yeah. What you have to focus on is, am I giving my current clients the best service possible? Am I making sure that every new lead feels like they are the center of my world when they walk into the gym? Those are things that are within our control. Yeah, we can't control somebody going to move to a job downtown and needing to change gyms. We can't control those types of things, and they're really, really sad because we get so attached to our people. Absolutely. But if we focus on those things, we're losing sight of the real vision and the real goal.
And since we made that mental shift, it's kind of that saying where if you're always, it's the, I think it's called the red car, what do you call it? The red car exercise, where if you buy a red car,
all you start to see is red
exactly,
cars.
Like you only see red cars essentially. And it's the same thing. If you're always looking for the negative, then I promise you all you're going to see is the negative.
Yeah, you're going to get confirmed.
It's the same thing for the positive side of things. If you always look for the positive, then you will always see the positive side of things. So until you change your point of view or until you change your mindset, then it's going to affect all the things that are going to come. Yeah, and since we made that change, since we had that talk and we started working on these things, all these really cool moments have happened over our business.
We've got new members.
Even today we had a guy who just moved in from France across the street. Yeah. Such a nice guy. Shout out to Enzo. Such a nice dude. Just signed a membership today. He's been doing CrossFit for like a couple months in France in his friend's gym, and now he's here. He lives across the street. Super fit, super nice, super social. We have Mikey, a guy from the Philippines who lives in the Philippines, and he visits here. I think his brother's here, and he visits once a year for a month. You know, he came in and got a membership for the next month.
And a t-shirt.
and he bought a t-shirt. You know, it's those little things. And we've had like a lot of leads, actually, the last 2 weeks, I would say. Whereas there was a lull for like 2 or 3 weeks where we weren't getting any leads and people weren't showing up and stuff and people were canceling. And it was like, oh my goodness, what is going on right now? So we had that mental shift and we were able to
and I think see what's the positive really stuff. Important about us sharing that is when we were feeling sort of negative about the business, things were kind of going that way. And when we made the active decision to focus on what can we control and bringing the positive energy, we're watching a massive shift already in the business. And this is the same messaging that we try to preach to our clients all the time. When you approach a workout with a can-do attitude and this is going to be challenging but fun and I'm going to get better and this is going to make me stronger versus I can't do that movement and I suck and I'm like the least fit one in the class and blah, 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 blah. You know, we're trying to pull people out of those and into the other. Well, we have to pull ourselves out of it sometimes, and it works in the business just as much as it works in the workouts, and it works in your daily life and your relationships, everything that you do. If you focus on the negative, you will have negative things happen to you. Yeah.
That was really well said. You really brought that back around. Yeah. I don't think we're actually going to have time to talk about CrossFit HQ here. We should save this for another juicy topic on the podcast. But hopefully you guys can take away everything that Susie just said, and I am personally super excited for 2024. 2024 for us started a little like on a weird note. We left for vacation early in, came back. There was a little chaotic, but I am super stoked for 2024. The Friday night was kind of this.
The CrossFit Open?
The Friday night that we did for the first CrossFit Open was this moment where it kind of put everything into perspective, and it just like lit my fire back up and brought all the happy emotions back.
Yeah, and I think it reminded us that purpose who we are and why we do what we do.
Yeah, and that was actually one of the things that I forgot to discuss here, but I knew that the Open was coming up when all this was happening, and I just told myself, you know what? My happy thing is going to be making a private video in our community group every single day talking about the Open. And I think in the end, we had 50 something members sign up, and in the end, people got to see what that Friday magic was about.
We had so many people doing RX in this workout that thought they were not going to be able to lift those dumbbells, and they did.
Exactly. So we'll kind of
just like we thought we were spiraling in our business, and we pulled ourselves out of it, and we are trending really upwards right now. And if you have friends who would like to join CrossFit Max, send them our way. But just the same way we had people attack that Open workout like we're attacking business in 2024.
Yeah. Okay, client to the week.
Pew, 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 pew.
This guy was someone that was nervous to do the CrossFit Open.
But we convinced him.
He's been killing his training this year. He's been consistently hitting 4 sessions every single week. He's like a little bit of a shy guy, but then when you start to get to know him, he's just so lovable. Yeah. Anyways, that awesome member is Victor.
Woo! Shout out Victor.
He did the 24.1 workout with a 50-pound dumbbell. He was questioning himself. Yeah. And he gripped and ripped it, did his best he possibly could. It's funny because Kenji, our other member, judged him. And I think Kenji was more nervous about judging Victor than Victor was about doing the actual Open, which was hilarious. Kind of fun to see.
I love it.
But Victor's been a really fun person to be coaching in the class. You know, he told me yesterday it's really cool to see his progress. Like, he feels like his cardiovascular system is getting so much better. One of the things I told him is he's always early, or at the beginning he was always early to class, and I said, Victor, instead of just sitting on the bench right now, one of your goals is to get better at your cardio. Just get on a bike, hop on the bike right now, and just pedal like super low intensity for 5 minutes. And he's been doing that, and he's seeing the results. He did really, really well on the burpees. I know he was worried about the burpees, but he did phenomenal on the workout. And yeah, I'm just excited.
I think his mental approach is also amazing, which is what love so much about coaching him.
Yeah. He's more gentle on himself mentally now. Freaking like, he front squatted, I don't know, I think it was 215 for 2 reps yesterday.
God damn.
Yeah, this guy's a beast. And and we need more members like Victor.
Yeah. Shout out Victor for being the example of CrossFit Max integrity.
Hell yeah.
Love it.
All right, guys, we hope you got some good value out of this episode. I know it was something a little bit different, so you guys got to see a little behind the scenes stuff, or not see, but hear. And we hope that you guys have a freaking fantastic day, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Yay!
See ya!
Bye!